Hello, everyone. Welcome. You are entering the American Heritage School First Virtual College Fair. You are in room C2, which is going to include Duke Kunshan, Florida Gulf Coast University, Florida State University is here, Into University Partnerships is here with us, SUNY Cortland, and University of Alabama. All are in our room. So thank you, everyone. I just want to let you all know for the students as you're entering, a couple things you should know about. How do I ask questions? I know this is probably your third session now, but how do I ask questions? You can use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time. Your camera and microphones are off, so you're muted. Your video's off, they won't be able to see or hear you, but you can communicate with them in the chat. I know this is our last session, and the recordings will be available hopefully sometime soon on the same page that you registered on. And when you are done with the session, after the 45 minutes, when you log out, you will get a survey that if you could answer that survey, that would be great. And we're really glad to have you all here. And we're gonna start just in about the next 30 seconds or so. So if our first school wants to go ahead and take the screen share from me, that would be good. And we can get started.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you for that introduction, and I'm really excited to be here today. My name is Emily Gruby, and I am a Global Recruitment Officer for Duke Kunshan University. So that's a joint venture institution that Duke has opened up in China. So you do spend most of your time in China. You will have the opportunity to spend a semester at Duke in Durham, North Carolina as well. So do keep that in mind. And you end up graduating with degrees from both Duke University and Duke Kunshan University. And I should also mention that all classes are taught in English, so you don't have to know any Chinese prior to matriculating at Duke Kunshan. All international students, however, are required to take Chinese once you enroll, but again, you're not required to know any beforehand, and the majority of our international students actually haven't studied Chinese previously. Now, since I only have 6 minutes, I want to quickly point out that I do have a QR code on each of the pages, and that will lead you to our virtual events page, which we have a virtual campus tour, as well as an in-depth virtual information session, which is a bit longer than 6 minutes. So I encourage you to check that out. I also encourage you to reach out to me via email if you have any questions. Okay, so Kunshan, I bet most of you haven't probably heard of Kunshan, but we are located in China in Jiangsu province. So it's right in between Suzhou and Shanghai. Kunshan itself is considered to be a small city by Chinese standards, but it's still about 2 million people. So, you know, what we're used to in the US, it's still a pretty major city. And it's only a 19-minute train ride from Shanghai, which is one of the biggest cities in the world, and the same distance to Suzhou, which is about the population of New York City. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities to take advantage of that location, whether it be for internships, for class field trips, to explore like nightlife and just see different parts of China. It's just really easy to get to these different cities as well as other cities in China too. So when Duke decided to open up a school in China, they really wanted to kind of reinvent the typical idea of liberal arts and sciences education. So there's a few buzzwords that you'll see, I'm sure you see throughout this presentation, but also throughout our website marketing materials. But 2 of those are experiential and interdisciplinary. And I'll kind of go into the experiential component in just a minute, but all of our majors are very interdisciplinary. They're actually blended disciplines. So you will have a major that is in arts and humanities, social sciences, and or natural sciences, but you'll also have a disciplinary track to kind of focus that a little bit more. But about 1/3 of your courses are electives, so you have plenty of time to take other exploratory courses. We are very experiential in the sense that we only have classes Monday through Thursday, so Fridays are meant for co-curricular education. You may have field trips with your faculty members into Shanghai or Suzhou on Fridays. You may be doing research with a faculty member. You may choose to do some community service. You may have Fridays off every now and then and choose to travel or do something else. But we really wanted to be intentional about making sure that there was enough time, enough opportunities for students to get off campus as well. Additionally, our semester schedule is a bit innovative as well. We do have kind of what I consider to be like a hybrid calendar when it comes to being a Chinese university, but with a joint venture institution with the US. So we do follow Duke's calendar in the sense that we have a fall semester from August to December and a spring semester from January to May. But you do have 2 week-long holidays each semester that are for Chinese holidays, including Golden Week and Chinese New Year, but you also have a few longer weekends as well with Chinese holidays. So that's kind of how we've set that up. So we are a new institution. We opened in 2013 with our graduate programs, but we actually just started bringing in undergrads a few years ago. So all of our campus buildings, dorms, things like that are brand new. This is an example of one of our freshman dorms in our student residence hall. So there are, 2 students will share a dorm, and then you'll share a common space with another set of 2 students. So it is really nice and really sleek and comfortable. We have tried to be as safe as inclusive as possible in designing our campus. We also have some pretty impressive facilities when it comes to academics. So these are some of our state-of-the-art lab facilities that are in our brand new innovation building. And these include both teaching and research labs, as well as an artificial intelligence lab. And we are also the only LEED certified higher education institution in China. So all of our buildings are built sustainably and have a certain level of green to them. And then of course our students are really what make us us. They come from over 50 countries. We have 6 continents represented, so a very diverse group of students. We have over 40 student organizations that range from Model UN to club sports, to art club, to robotics, to our LGBT group, all sorts of stuff. And there's also great opportunities to start new clubs as well if you want to really be, create part of that campus culture. All right. And yes, at least half our students do have to come from China. That's part of being a joint venture institution. But like I said, the rest of our student body comes from all over the world. We are on the Common App. It is a free application. And we do have early decision and regular decision deadlines, as you'll see here. And for the class of 2021, we are test optional as well. And all students are automatically considered for scholarships and financial aid. So I hope you'll apply or reach out to me with more questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. And next we have Florida Gulf Coast.
Hello everyone, my name is Casey Bufford from Florida Gulf Coast University. Here's my contact information right here on the screen for you. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions, either by email or you can always give me a call. So a little bit about who FGCU is. We are one of the public universities in the state of Florida. We have 15,000 students that are currently enrolled. So we are considered to be a medium-sized institution. Now with that medium-sized feel also gives you smaller classes. So when you're inside of your classes, the average class size is about 33 students. So because we do have those 33 students, the professors really have the opportunity to get to know their students. They know what your strengths are. They know what you need help with throughout the semester. So when you go to their office hours, they have already seen what you need in the class and they're able to continue with that help while they're in those office hours. Now, because we are a smaller university, and like I mentioned, the professors are able to dedicate that time to you. When it's time for you to apply for a job or maybe for graduate school, they can write you these very personalized recommendation letters that are specific to who you are and how you've grown. So because of that, we are among the top 2 in the state universities when it comes to job placement. And we're only 23 years old, so to have that definitely says a lot about the institution. So that also goes into how we teach. So FGCU is very hands-on. As you can see on the screen right here, these are some examples of classrooms that we have on campus. So the student that's here with the blue and green squares, this would be an engineering student. So over here, this is called the Viper Lab. You're able to do augmented reality, virtual reality. You can build cities and move them around and see how a natural disaster coming through would impact it depending on where the city is placed. You can see the student in the top left-hand corner. This is a nursing student. By the way, we are top 10 in the state of Florida for nursing. This nursing student is working with a human simulator. Now, these simulators can do whatever we can do. They can bleed, they can sweat, they can cry, they can have a heart attack. One of them has a baby. So if you're wanting to become a nurse, you're able to get that hands-on. So all of these hands-on experiences are seen all throughout the university. We really believe that students learn best when they're in the environment that they'll be when they graduate. So the hands-on is something that we have throughout the entire university. As you can see here, these are a list of our majors. We do have 63 majors for students to choose from. When you apply to the university, if you don't know what you want to do, that's completely fine. You can come in undecided if you would like. When you're here on campus, though, you do have a whole set of academic advisors and career advisors that will help to get you in the right direction. If you want to change your major, the first 2 years are going to be the safest time to do that because you're going to be mostly taking your general education courses. Now this right here, this is definitely one of the selling points of Florida Gulf Coast University. So all of our students are able to have their own private bedroom. So as you can see here, there's both a 2 and 3 bedroom option. So you choose the option that you want. So on the bottom left-hand corner, this is the 2. Those students share a split style bathroom. So one side has a sink and a shower. The opposite has a sink and a toilet. And then on the right-hand side, this is the 3. This tends to be the more popular because you do have a living room area for students to hang out. It has a kitchenette that has a full-size fridge, sink, microwave, and cabinet space. And then those 3 students share one bathroom, but you get to choose whichever housing type you would like. This right here is a picture of main campus. So if you guys have not had an opportunity to come view FGCU's campus, I highly, highly recommend that you do that. We are open for tours right now. They're through the week, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So you do have multiple windows that you can choose from. When our students are not in the classroom, they are very active in clubs and organizations, building those leadership skills. So we do have over 250 student organizations for students to get involved in. The most popular is Programming Board. They put on different events throughout the year, but we have everything that you can think of. Another popular one is called the Hammock Club. They just hang their little hammocks around campus and hang out when the days are nice. So this is a very good way for students to build on leadership skills that they're bringing from high school or to gain leadership skills. So for the first time ever, FGCU has added an essay portion to their application. So when you're writing your essays, this is really going to be your time to let me know about yourself. So for FGCU's application process, we don't take letters of recommendation. So the essay is really going to be crucial for you. We have early action and regular decision application pools. So when you're applying to the university, if you would like to be automatically considered for merit scholarships, which range from $3,000 to $5,000, you definitely want to get your application in early action, and that deadline is November 1st. So when you're applying to the university, what we're looking for admission-wise is a 3.87 GPA weighted. And also when you're submitting those test scores, FGCU is not test optional this year. We're looking for SAT or ACT. You don't have to have both. If you do have both, that's completely fine. We super score as well, which means we take the highest of each section for you. Over here, you can see the cost of tuition. So without any type of aid, financial aid, grant, scholarships, anything like that, your tuition is $6,000 or so for 1 year. But if you're able to get Bright Futures, we'll take it. If you get the merit scholarship from our office, we'll take it, and they all just stack right on top of each other. Like I mentioned, if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and I'll be able to answer them for you.
Thank you so much. And so next we have Florida State University.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samantha Bucksbaum. I am a freshman admission counselor with Florida State University. I'm really excited to be speaking with you all this afternoon. I need to put a little timer on for myself because I can get a little lengthy. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it now. So at a glance, Here are just some quick facts about Florida State. We are a large public university located in Tallahassee, Florida. Being a large university, we are able to offer 297 academic and professional degrees. That includes over 160 different majors within FSU, and we also have law and medicine programs as well. We have about 42,000 students at Florida State. That's a mixture of both undergraduate and graduate students. But despite those large numbers, we do keep class sizes relatively small. We have a 21-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And about 60% of our classes actually contain about 20 students or less in them. So we are keeping class sizes relatively small. But let's just jump right into this freshman application process. So when you are applying to FSU, you can actually apply of one of three different ways. We're a part of both the Coalition and the Common application. And then we also have our own institutional application on our admissions website as well. Out of these, there's no preference one over the other. Really, just pick whichever one you prefer. The only thing that we do ask is that you stick to one application type throughout the process. Something that we're doing a little bit differently this year is how students can apply to our university honors program. So if that is you and you're interested in applying to honors, you're going to check a box on the freshman application that just says, are you interested in applying to the University Honors Program? If you click that box, then it will populate a supplemental honors application for you to complete once you access your application status check. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. In addition to that, if you are applying to one of our fine or performing arts programs, so that's music, theater, dance, film, or studio art, all of those majors do require supplemental information, whether that's an audition or an interview or a portfolio. So if that's you, just make sure you're keeping up with their department websites because they will have all their separate dates, deadlines, and requirements listed there as well. Step 2 of our application process is creating something that's called the Self-Reported Student Academic Record. We call it the SSAR for short. Essentially, this is an electronic version of your high school transcript that is created by you. So what you'll do is you'll get a copy of your high school transcript from your guidance counselor. When you get home and create this SSAR account, you're going to manually input all the grades you received for high school credit in here. And this is how we're going to be able to calculate your GPA onto our FSU recalculated scale. About 24 to 48 hours after you complete your application, you'll get an email from Florida State just instructing you on how to create this application status check that I mentioned before. This is really going to be your home base throughout the application process. It quite literally serves as an online checklist for you, so you'll be able to see everything checked off that you've turned in. And ultimately, this is where you'll come back and you'll find out your admission decision from FSU as well. So it's really important to make sure you remember your login and password for it because you will come back to it quite frequently. But onto these supporting materials, like I might have not mentioned, this is where you're going to link your supporting materials as well. Let's talk a little bit about them. So here's where you're going to link that SSAR account. It'll give you a 32-character code once you've completed it. We just need you to copy and paste that into your application status check. Here is also where you can self-report. Yes, self-report. We don't need you to send in official scores up front. You can self-report them to save a little bit of time and money. We do need at least one ACT or SAT score because we are a public institution in the state of Florida. We do require that for a complete application. At this time, if you have at least one test score, go ahead and put that on your application, even if it's not your favorite score. We just need it for a complete application. Another thing you can upload here are your personal essay and resume. These 2 items are optional, but they are strongly encouraged. And finally, we'll need you to complete something that's called a residency declaration form. Doesn't matter if you're in state or out of state. We just need you to complete that for tuition purposes. All right, so let's talk deadlines. Our priority deadline this year is December 1st. We've pushed it back to hopefully allow students to test a couple more times. We'll even accept your December test scores. So if you're able to sign up for a December ACT or SAT, make sure you self-report those scores as soon as you get them back to us, because if you have everything else in by our December 1st deadline, we can still consider you for priority admission consideration. This priority deadline doesn't mean early action, doesn't mean early decision. It's not a binding deadline. It just simply means students do have priority admission consideration, scholarship consideration, and a priority for a few other things. So we definitely recommend you complete your application by then. And that's the application and all those supporting materials. If you do that, then you'll get your admission decision on February 18th. All right, so I have 30 seconds. I know I'll talk a little bit about our holistic review. As you can see here, there are a variety of things that we take into consideration when we're reviewing your application. Academics, those play a huge role, but also the essay and resume. We want to get to know you as an individual as well. So definitely take the time to complete those items for a complete application too. I'll quickly glance over tuition and fees. You'll see that estimated cost of tuition and fees for a Florida resident in that InterGarnet textbook, text box. Again, this is for a year's worth of tuition and fees at FSU, and that is an estimate. And life is null. We made it to the end here. There's lots of ways to get plugged in on campus, including living on campus. We offer living on campus in terms of housing contracts. You'll complete those once a student is officially admitted to Florida State. And here are just some quick ways to stay connected with us. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll move on to the next presenter.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Into University Partnerships.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Lei. I'm here to represent Into University Partnerships. So Into is an international organization, and we partner with universities in UK and the US to help international students to study abroad in the two countries. So if you are here, you are US student, that's okay, because if you apply for UK universities, you are still considered as an international student. So we provide a free application service, and you will contact me, and then I will help you to select colleges within our network and help you to finish your application and apply for scholarships. And we waive application fees for up to 5 universities. And after you submit all the applications, and we guarantee that you will hear back from our universities within 14 business days. So it's more like early action, but without binding. So once you receive our offer, there's no obligation you have to accept that. So once you enroll in a college, we'll still continue to support you because we want to help you to achieve academic success. So this is my WeChat and WhatsApp QR code. You can take a screenshot, and I look forward to hearing from you later. So because of time limit, I will focus on the US part. So I'll talk a little bit about some of our partner universities. So the first is University of South Florida. So some of you might already visit there. So it's a big campus with 50,000 students, and 10% are international students. It's located 1 hour to Orlando and 4 hours to Miami. It's ranked 103 among national universities on US News, and we are strong in psychology, business, engineering, and computer science. And in terms of location, it's really ideal to balance the work, study, and relaxation. And you're near the downtown Tampa. And if you drive 40 minutes, you will see the clear water beaches. And move to northeastern region, we have 4 universities ranging from Boston to New York. And also we have 1 university is near Washington, DC. So I want to talk a little bit more about Drew University because it's a liberal arts college. It's really ideal for students who just have multiple interests in academics and who do not want to claim majors at first year. So Drew really allows students to have flexible academic schedule, and a small class size will help you to develop personal relationships with professors, and they can help you to really explore what you are passionate about. So because Drew is near New York City, so they developed 6 different New York City programs for you to explore, the academic interests, career interests outside of campus. So if you are interested in business, you can participate in Wall Street. And if you are interested in international relations, you can participate in the United Nations semester. So here is a picture of a Chinese student who recently graduated from Drew University, and he got 2 offers from Wall Street, and he chose to work at the NASDAQ. And Drew University also have combined degree with Columbia University and Washington University in St. Louis in engineering. So if you are interested in studying high-ranking universities, so Drew definitely provide another opportunity for you. And move to the Midwest, we have 2 universities. One is Illinois State University, and the other is St. Louis University, which is again is high-ranking university and also very strong in international business. And move to the West, we have 4 universities. One university located near Seattle, which is Washington State University. And also we have Oregon State University, Colorado State University, and University of Arizona, which is ranked number 85 in best global universities. So talk about our admission requirement. So most of our universities require 3.0 GPA out of 4, and the TOEFL 80 and IELTS 6.5. So this year, most of our universities are tax optional. So you do not have to submit SAT, ACT, except University of South Florida. If your GPA is a little bit lower, like 2.0 or TOEFL is lower, that's okay. We actually designed a special program called International Year 1 to help you to transition to the college. So you will study academic English besides the college courses. And most importantly, you will still graduate in 4 years. So again, this is my contact information, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, SUNY Cortland.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Ackerman, and I am the regional recruiter for SUNY Cortland. I do recruit with all Florida students, so if you ever need anything, this is my contact information, and you're welcome to text me or email me. So SUNY Cortland is part of the SUNY system, which is the State University of New York. We are the largest university system in the nation with 64 total campuses. SUNY Cortland is a small to medium-sized school in the state of New York with about 7,000 total students. We bring in 1,200 first-year students each year and about 600 transfers. And we do have an average class size of about 23. We do have a couple lecture-style halls, which will hold up to 200 students, but as you get closer into your major, they're going to be around that 18 to 23 range, with a student to faculty ratio of 16 to 1. We are located in central New York. We're about 40 minutes from Syracuse. We're about 30 minutes from Ithaca and Cornell University, and then about 40 minutes from Binghamton University. We are in the middle of New York, so we do get a lot of snow. We get all 4 seasons, sometimes all on the same day. We were ranked #1 for campus safety in the state of New York. I was a student and never felt unsafe. We do have a blue light system as well as our own university police department. We have quite a diverse campus with students representing 34 states and 47 countries. And then Syracuse is the airport that you would fly into from Florida. It's about a 3-hour flight nonstop. So as far as our first year admissions criteria, we're looking for 4 years of English and history, 3 years of math, science, and foreign language. And we are test optional this year. And this is the first year that we are going test optional. So we will not be requiring test scores for admissions or for our merit-based scholarships. Our total expenses, we do give things just to know on this slide is going to be our Future New Yorker Award. So this year we're giving all out-of-state students $7,500 per year. And then if you remain living on campus and your junior and senior year, we're going to give you $9,500 in those 2 years on top of any other scholarships that you may have. And we do accept the Florida prepay, dollar for dollar, if you or your parents have that. We are a D3 school, so we have 25 NCAA division teams, as well as 131 national championships. Last year, we actually competed in our rival football game at MetLife Stadium where the Jets play, so our football team does get to play on an NFL field. We have over 80 student clubs on campus. From each major has their own club. We have arts, sports club, Greek life, service clubs. We have a ton of different things, and it only takes 3 students and 1 faculty member to create a club. There are always new clubs coming onto campus. We do require all of our first-year students to remain living on campus for their first 2 years and our transfer students to live on campus for their first year. So about half of our student body is on campus. And you can see in those two pictures, kind of the outside and the inside of our student res lives. We have 17 total on campus from high-rise, low-rise, apartment style, suite style. We have a lot of different opportunities for living on campus in groups of up to 8, or we have single rooms as well. Our Student Life Center is where all things athletic happen. So we have indoor pool, we have an indoor track, we have volleyball, basketball courts, all weight machines, a CrossFit gym, a golf simulator, anything that you can imagine we have in this building, as well as a gaming room. And about 2,500 people use this per day. We have 10 dining facilities as well. So these two pictured here are going to be kind of your all you can eat. So you can swipe in and stay all day and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you so choose, as well as we have a lot of grab and go. So we have salads, pasta, pizza, smoothies, protein shakes, a ton of coffee on campus, and a lot of different areas that you can eat if you want to go on the more healthy side. We also have a cookie warmer in almost all of our dining halls. So if you're not on the healthy side, we have that for you as well. We are a liberal arts school, so we have a lot of different majors. We are the largest and most comprehensive education school in the state of New York, so you'll see a lot of teacher certifications. And I've put stars next to kind of our more popular majors. We have all of the ology, psychology, sociology, archaeology, anthropology. Sports management is really huge for us right now. Speech and hearing science, fitness development. We have a ton of internship and hands-on opportunities for a lot of our majors. We have alumni kind of all over the place. We have a lot of internship opportunities in New York City, as well as DC, a lot in the Florida area. We have a lot of alumni in Florida, as well as a lot on the West Coast as well. So that's what I have for you today. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly.
Thank you. And then last but not least, we've got University of Alabama.
Guys, thanks for joining me and adding another Zoom call to your day. But my name's Casey Tate, and I am your regional recruiter for the University of Alabama. What that means to you guys is I live down here. I live in South Florida, and I work just with my South Florida students, so I'm always happy to help. So I'm going to start off and show you just a quick little video to get you thinking about the opportunities available to you at UA.
If you think you know Alabama, there's more. Think entrepreneurs and authors, performers, innovators, and CEOs, shaping our world, inspiring us, making us think differently. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
It's one of my favorite videos, guys, because at the University of Alabama, legends are made every day. From the athletic fields to the research labs, there's so many different opportunities at Alabama. Do you guys know that Alabama is consistently a leader in enrollment and national merit finalists, and we're currently number 5 in the country, and that's among all public and private universities? Or that Alabama is number 1 in the SEC and number 2 in the country for internship placements for our students? Or that for the 5th consecutive year, Alabama's robotics team has won NASA's grand prize in the robotics mining competition. This is just a bit of a glimpse into the accomplishments of the students at the University of Alabama and what can lie ahead for you in your future. We were founded in 1831, and almost 60% of our students are from outside the state of Alabama, so you guys are in great shape coming from Florida. Our total enrollment has grown to over 38,000 with 6,764 students in our freshman class. So in addition to the benefits of a large research institution, UA still maintains a small campus feel with a 23-to-1 student-teacher ratio. And with over 200 different academic programs and a diverse student population, we're big enough, yet small enough for you to discover your legendary path. And there's so many different opportunities to get involved on campus. There's over 600 different student organizations. So if you're interested in Greek life, political organizations, religious organizations, or just intramural sports, if you're looking for it, University of Alabama probably has it. And let's talk about community service for a minute. Our students have given back over 1 million hours in community service last year alone. So if you're ready to become a legend, you can apply now. At Alabama, you apply at our institutional application at apply.ua.edu. There's a $40 application fee, and you do have to send in your high school transcripts. Alabama is now test optional. So what I tell my students is if you have a test score that you're happy with, awesome, send it in. If not, no worries. We can make an admission decision this year without a test score. Alabama was worked really hard, especially this summer, to make an out-of-state experience an affordable option by rewarding academic excellence. Approximately 40% of our students qualify for automatic merit-based scholarships, and out-of-state students with at least a 3.5 GPA, 25 ACT, or 1,200 SAT are eligible for an automatic merit award ranging from $6,000 to $28,000 per year. But extracurriculars and leadership also matter. If you're admitted to Alabama by January 15th, you'll have access to our scholarship application, which allows you to be considered for a variety of additional competitive awards that do not require a test score. So don't miss an opportunity, guys. Start the process early. And Alabama education has no limits nor boundaries. From Warner Media to Mercedes-Benz, the holistic opportunities for current students such as internships and education abroad are endless. With almost 250,000 alumni and friends of university, including those employed by PepsiCo and Lockheed Martin, our network is far-reaching, local, national, and global. Students come to the University of Alabama from all 50 states and over 70 different countries. 65% of our students report they are working full-time, and 20% attend graduate school. 90% indicate positive career outcomes 6 months after graduation. Alabama has a reputation for innovation. The overall experience gives our students and graduates the skills and drive to accomplish incredible things. And many legends have been made, guys, by taking their first steps on campus and visiting Tuscaloosa. Your journey can start now. You can scan this QR code and that'll open up a live 360 tour. You can also reach out to me and go over any options to visit campus. We have tons of virtual options. We also have university days, and we are in-person. We do have in-person visits now as well. So there's tons of ways to learn more about Bama. And last but not least, this is my contact information. This is just going to give you guys a way to get in touch with me. This is my cell phone number. You can always call or text me, my email, and then I've also added my Instagram. I've learned that you guys are much more likely to send me a direct message on Instagram than an email. That's fine with me, guys. What I want you all to take away from this is if you have questions about the University of Alabama, we're here to help. So reach out to me and let me know what I can do to help you find your path to UA. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.
Thank you so much, Casey. Really appreciate it. And thank you to all of you. Right now, we can go ahead and do some Q&A. I don't know that there are any questions in the chat, but I'm happy to go ahead and ask questions. So I guess my first question would be, and I know some of you touched upon it, but if you had to pinpoint one of your favorite traditions on your campuses or through your programs, what would that be? Anyone want to jump in?
Sure. We're a pretty new institution, as I mentioned, so we don't have a lot of deep-rooted traditions, but we do have, in pre-COVID times, we have a international admitted student experience where we actually bring all of the students who have been accepted over to China to see campus and sit in on sample classes and things like that. So it's always great to see the potential students interacting with the current students and current faculty and getting to know campus a little bit more.
And I'll jump in because I think Alabama might be one of the oldest. We were founded in 1831, and while most people think of our traditions as football, and we love our football for sure, my favorite is what we call tapping of the mound. And the mound is sort of a hill in our quad on the middle of campus that is actually a relic from Civil War and buildings that were destroyed during the Civil War on campus. The tapping of the mound is an old tradition where we're honoring our honor students and special awards in the spring. This year we had to do it virtual because of COVID, so we're already excited about having our fall tapping of the mound in person coming back. So we're real excited about those traditions coming back and being done in person again this fall.
I'll go next. So we are also one of the newer schools. We're only 23 years old. So One of the best traditions that we have right now is when students come to campus for the first time, we have a beautiful eagle fountain that they like to take their picture at. And then when they graduate in their cap and gown, they also take a picture right in front of the eagle fountain as well. So just to kind of show a look at where I came from kind of thing.
All right, thank you. I know Florida State is here somewhere.
Yep, we're here. I'll be happy to share a tradition. I think one of our favorite for our students is jumping into the fountain on their 21st birthday. They're allowed to jump into all of our fountains, which are actually registered swimming pools, so they can take a dip in the pool for their birthday as well. So that's a favorite tradition of our students.
Oh.
We have so many universities, so hard for me to nail down one university I'm from into. So I want to think, for international students, we have the tradition among all the universities, like we ask them to take picture of their favorite spot of the university and send it to their friend circle. Whoever get the most likes will get a prize.
Okay, I like that.
We have quite a few traditions on campus as well. I think one of my favorites is Cortica, which is our rival game with Ithaca College. It brings new students, potential students, as well as a lot of our alumni to the game. We actually were the largest attended D3 collegiate game last fall, and this year we will not be participating because of COVID, but I know that everyone's ready to participate in that again next year.
All right, thank you. And I know there was, did anyone else want to say anything? Did I cover everyone? I know there was a question in the chat, which was which GPA, unweighted or weighted, is looked at, and is there a focus? And I know Casey Tate had said she was going to take that question, but you want to start, Casey? And I think some of the other schools can.
Sure. At the University of Alabama, we will take the weighted GPA. If you're going test optional, we're going to take your weighted core GPA.
I'll answer that for Florida State. At FSU, we ask students to complete the self-reported student academic record, that SSAR, that actually calculates the GPA for us. So we're not taking your weighted or your unweighted GPA. We're going to be calculating our own, but it will be weighted on our own scale.
All right, thank you.
At SUNY Cortland, for your application, we'll go off of your weighted GPA, and then for our merit scholarships, it would be off your unweighted.
Okay, so you don't recalculate?
We do not.
Yeah, it's what we have on our transcript. Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
From into, I would say most of our universities will recalculate your GPAs.
Okay, thank you.
We'll recalculate it as well, but I will mention that GPA is just a small part of the application process. So I do want to, make sure that students are aware of that. It is a holistic review process.
Okay, great, thank you.
Gulf Coast University takes the weighted GPA that's provided on the transcript.
Okay, interesting. All right, and then I guess, I know we're coming to the end, but I guess a final question I would have, it's for juniors and seniors, because I guess that's probably most of who we have on here. But for seniors, any last minute advice of what they should be doing right now? And I guess for juniors who still have some time, some advice for them as well of what they can be doing now.
I'd be happy to take that one first. For our seniors, this is Florida State, by the way, for our seniors that are currently applying, because we're a public institution in the state of Florida, we do have to require test scores this year, ACT and or SAT. We know it's been difficult for you to test. We really truly do get that. But because we have to require one, we're recommending sign up for whatever you can, submit whatever you already have. Even if it's not your favorite test score, I know that's been discouraging to a lot of students to go ahead and submit them. We use a holistic review, and because we are aware that you haven't probably been able to test as much as you might have hoped to by this time, just go ahead and submit what you have, sign up for that November or December test, and take that and send in those scores to us as well. For juniors, just keep on keeping on, make good grades in your classes, because junior year is really important in terms of your grades and your academic success. So yeah, just, you know, continue to do well in your classes.
To that, I think that's great advice. For seniors, I've spoken to so many seniors that are really sort of paralyzed by this process and the stress with not being able to test, or maybe once or twice, but not loving your test score. My advice is just jump in there and get started. There's lots of deadlines coming up, and it is always to your advantage to jump in, get started early. Remember, guys, every senior in the country is going through this right now. They're going to make it through, and you guys will too. So just jump in there and get started, and use us as a resource when you have questions. It's our job to help you through it, and we're excited to make this process as less stressful for you as we can. So use us as a resource. For juniors, I want to echo what Samantha said. Put your best foot forward. Junior year can be your most important year academically, because remember, most of us as universities are making admission decisions before we ever see your senior year grades. So junior year grades are going to be incredibly important for you guys. So just stick in there, do your best work, and keep trucking, keep moving forward. I think that's the theme, as Samantha said. We're kind of all in this together. So just keep going, don't put it off, and pay attention to deadlines. Any other key points there, guys? I'm always like, pay attention to deadlines, just get in there, get it done, and just keep trucking.
Yeah, I'd also say submit your CSS profile and FAFSA as well for scholarships and financial aid for seniors, because those are open now, both of them.
And be proactive, attend these things, ask us questions, email, I mean, it's not often that you get a lot of college reps in the same place just speaking to you guys. So ask your questions, and you can get that personal one-on-one time. And this is, like everyone has said, this is the important time. Get good grades, but ask us. We're here to help you. We want to get you through these kind of challenging times that, you know, you've never done before, but we have, and we've seen a lot of people do these.
I definitely agree with that. For international students here, so most of our universities will treat you as like dramatic student. So your scholarship, the deadline will be equal to other dramatic student. So if you want to get scholarship, definitely submit application as soon as possible.
Well, thank you all so much. I know we're just going a little bit over the time. I just want to mention to our students, when you leave the session, you will see a quick survey. If you could take that survey, we would appreciate it. And as somebody said, we are all in this together. So thank you so much. And you know, we will reach out to you as well if we need help, but we really appreciate you talking to our students today.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Good to be with you.